old technique. That means you've got a whole series ready of very, very cheap television, which Netflix would probably just chuck out there.
Plenty of publicity. I'm an Aston Villa season ticket holder, so I'm fully aware of the future King's passion for Aston Villa, which is long-standing.
The podcast Archetypes, which started on Spotify and was later distributed by Lemonada. Meghan also recently debuted a Netflix lifestyle show.
Meghan Markle's Netflix show was expected to be a hit, but it struggled from the start, debuting at number 6 and quickly dropping off the charts. Even supportive media gave it negative reviews. Was it too dull? Did viewers find her unrelatable, and with a second season already filmed, can anything be done to fix it? It turns out that there will be a second season of Meghan Markle's Netflix series, but don't get too excited. Over the weekend, it was revealed that Netflix had already filmed both seasons at the same time. This is a common cost-saving tactic in television, meaning the second season was always planned no matter how the first one performed. However, Meghan seemed to present it as a big win, acting as though Netflix had just decided to renew the show due to its massive success. That's not the case at all. Netflix is reportedly not thrilled with the situation. The first season received overwhelmingly negative reviews, with both critics and the general public finding it dull and uninteresting. Young audiences on social media, especially TikTok, were particularly vocal about their disappointment. Despite this, Meghan has been working hard to control the narrative. According to reports, she's been feeding positive stories to People magazine, trying to paint herself as a wonderful boss who treated her team well. What's even more interesting is how the second season announcement was handled. It wasn't a big press event or an official Netflix statement, it was Meghan herself who posted about it on Instagram. Sources inside Netflix, as reported by the Daily Mail and Express, say this was a carefully planned PR move. The goal? Distract from the terrible reviews the first season received. Even media outlets that have traditionally supported Meghan were unimpressed. Variety, for example, called the show an ego trip, while Vogue noted that it lacked authenticity and didn't provide any real insight into Meghan's life. To make matters worse, even Meghan's own family isn't on board. Her brother, Thomas Markle Jr., called the show boring and desperate. He even said he felt sorry for her because the entire thing seemed like a plea for attention. Meghan's father, Thomas Markle Sr., also had strong opinions. He found the show dull but was especially annoyed by the way Meghan described her childhood. In the series, Meghan is shown preparing fresh, colorful meals, chopping vegetables endlessly, and she then claims, "I grew up with a lot of fast food and TV tray dinners. It was a different time, but that was so normal. Microwavable kids' meals and watching Jeopardy." The statement didn't sit well with her father, who has previously shared stories of providing Meghan with a comfortable upbringing. He believes the way she portrays her past is misleading. Thomas Markle Sr. is not happy with how his daughter Meghan Markle has described her childhood. He's frustrated because, according to him, she's making it sound like she grew up struggling when that simply wasn't the case. "I worked hard to give my kids a great life," he said. "We lived in a nice area of Los Angeles and I made sure they had everything they needed." He insists that Meghan was not home neglecting child, eating TV dinners every night. "We went out to nice restaurants at least 3 times a week," he explained. One of their favorite spots was Musso and Frank, a high-end restaurant on Hollywood Boulevard. "A burger there costs $35, he pointed out, making it clear that Meghan was not growing up in fast food or struggling meals. This is why he's so upset about the way Meghan has talked about her past. She has made claims that don't match reality, and there's even proof that contradicts her. Years ago, before she met Prince Harry, Meghan appeared as a judge in Chopped Jr. on the Food Network. When a young contestant presented a dish, Meghan smiled and said, "This reminds me of growing up in California, you know, that farm-to-fork lifestyle." But now she wants people to believe she had a difficult childhood? It just doesn't add up, a critic noted. Thomas Sr. also addressed another claim Meghan has made about him. She has suggested that he worked multiple jobs because they were struggling financially, but he says that's not true at all. "I was highly skilled and I was in demand," he said. He was a successful lighting director in Hollywood, working on major productions. His career allowed him to send Meghan to private school, pay for her college education, and even support her in international internships. "She had every opportunity because I made sure of it," he added. Many people have pointed out that Meghan often changes her story depending on who she's talking to. She wrote about going to a cafe after ballet class in her blog, The Tig, one commentator said. But now suddenly, she wants people to believe she had a tough upbringing? Critics believe she says whatever she thinks will make her more relatable at the moment. She panders to whatever audience she's trying to win over at that time, another analyst commented. It's all about shaping a narrative that works for her in the moment. However, with more and more contradictions being pointed out, people are starting to question the stories she tells. Some believe Meghan often changes her message depending on who she's speaking to, making it hard for people to know what's real and what's just for show. She's always adjusting her approach, one critic noted. It's like she's constantly trying to figure out who supports her at the moment and then tailoring her message to them. It's not about authenticity, it's about appealing to the right crowd at the right time. A clear example of this is the way her latest Netflix project has performed. When the show first launched, it didn't get the kind of response she and Netflix were likely hoping for. The show debuted at number 6 on Netflix's charts, an analyst explained. That's not great for something that was supposed to be a major release. Normally, a high-profile show backed by Netflix would be expected to reach number 1 and stay there for a while. The fact that it didn't even start at number 1 was disappointing, the analyst continued. And now, it's dropped out of the top 10 completely. This is a major setback because Meghan was hoping to use the show to boost her brand and attract a wider audience. She has a core group of supporters who will buy whatever she's selling, said a media expert. If she releases expensive edible flowers or fancy lifestyle products, some people will buy them no matter what. But the goal was to reach new people, to bring in a fresh audience who hadn't connected with her before, and that hasn't happened. Many believe the problem isn't just the show itself, but also Meghan's approach. The content just isn't there, a TV critic said. It's too bland, too generic. Whether she's arranging fruit into a colorful pattern or making bath salts, nothing feels fresh or exciting. Others have pointed out that it's not just the projects that are failing to impress, it's Meghan's personality on screen. She struggles to come across as genuine, the critic continued. People pick up on the lack of authenticity, and when they see contradictions in her stories, it only makes them trust her less. There is also a big issue with the season 2 of the show. It was filmed before season 1 even aired, a Hollywood insider revealed. That means they had no chance to adjust based on audience reactions. Now that the first season has been met with criticism, they can't go back and fix anything in season 2 unless they spend a lot of money on reshoots. But that doesn't seem likely. Netflix already invested a significant amount in Meghan's projects, the insider added. With the way things are going, I don't see them spending even more to redo a second season of a show that hasn't performed well. Some critics say Netflix made a mistake by committing to multiple seasons too early. Normally, you wait to see if a show is successful before greenlighting more, a TV analyst said. But in this case, it looks like they approved 2 seasons from the start. Now they're stuck with a second season that might not do any better than the first. Do let us know about your views in the comment section below, and for more such amazing videos, do subscribe to our channel.